Hey, what is going on, guys, gals, aliens, and DGen freaks? Welcome back to the channel. So we just had a video pop up in our feed, and it was Patrick Bet-David on Valuetainment had Peter Schiff on his podcast, and they were in this conversation, obviously, about Bitcoin, gold, different commodities, different trading aspects of the market. And Patrick Bet-David, and we'll show you the clip here, goes into explaining that you have some graded, minted, really expensive, over $1 million worth of these baseball cards, certain cards that are graded to be spec'd, like very minted, and also some gold and weighted to be worth $1 million each, and then you have $1 million of Bitcoin. So we're gonna go to this clip here. We're gonna show the clip here.
Gold. You have $1 million of collectible cards, but you got $1 million of Bitcoin on this phone when you carry. Okay. Do you see the argument on how they sell Bitcoin transferable? If you had a choice between $1 million between the Bitcoin in your wallet, the gold, or the collectible cards, what do you choose?
Well, I don't know that much about the collectible card market. I figure that the spreads are probably pretty wide there, and the market is very dependent on the collector demand. I mean, whether...
So like what he's saying is, obviously, with certain collectibles, they go through phases, you know, so there's times in the market where baseball cards, basketball cards, depending on, like, you know, for instance, like the basketball cards from the heyday of the 90s, you know, when you had like these really amazing special edition Scottie Pippen cards and Michael Jordan cards, you know, those things, you know, they go in phases, and it's with, you know, with certain things like that, that's what he's talking about.
There are people who want to buy those cards or not. I mean, it's a unique market. I have a good friend of mine in Puerto Rico has made a ton of money on cards. Now he's in jerseys. He's buying the jerseys of the players. But look, I don't know that market, so I would just take the gold. I mean, the gold is pretty stable. I think the price is going a lot higher, very liquid. I don't have to worry about a lot of different factors that might impact the value of those collectible cards. But I would take those cards over the Bitcoin.
You would take the cards over the Bitcoin.
Well, I don't think the Bitcoin has any real value at all. I think it's just a speculative mania. I mean, sure, there are...
So right there is where I think Peter Schiff is wrong. He said there's no value in Bitcoin, but the value is in the participation of the network. It's just like how the value of the dollar is coming from the participation of the U.S. military to back it up across the world as the dominant U.S. currency that everything is priced in, USD. So him saying that Bitcoin doesn't have any value is like saying otherwise.
There are fools out there who will buy Bitcoin who don't understand that it has no value. And as long as there's a supply of greater fools, the fools that bought earlier can sell out to a greater fool who buys later. But, you know, this is a...
Do you think Michael Saylor and BlackRock, they're fools?
This is a blockchain letter, you know, like a chain letter only with a blockchain. It's a digital Ponzi or a pyramid. Do I think Michael Saylor is foolish? I don't know, you know, why Michael Saylor does what he does. I mean, obviously...
Okay, let's see why Michael Saylor has done what he's done. Let's look at the chart, because the chart will speak for itself. We've done this before. We've showed you the chart, guys. Let's just show you the chart again. Let's show you the trading view chart. Let's pull it up really quick. We're going to pull up this trading view chart. It's pretty amazing, this chart, guys, because this is going to explain pretty easy what and why MicroStrategy has done what they have done. So let's put the Bitcoin halving on this chart. Now let's look at this chart. Let's look at it on the daily. And let's look at this. Okay. So you see this. Now this is when they implemented their Bitcoin strategy. Was right after the third halving in August. They started acquiring Bitcoin. And now you can see what happened with their stock valuation at that point. Their stock valuation of MicroStrategy and their company went 513%. Okay? And so now we have speculated coming into the fourth halving that before that, because they've been accumulating so much, that their stock was going to break all-time highs and actually crush it into these areas of almost $2,000. So now we have basically their stock over $2,000 and then now sitting at a retracement of 1582. So Peter Schiff, this is why Michael Saylor is doing what he's doing.
Old. You have $1 million of collectible cards, but you got.
But, you know, this is a.
Do you think Michael Saylor and BlackRock, they're fools?
This is a blockchain letter. You know, like a chain letter, only with a blockchain. It's a digital Ponzi or a pyramid. Do I think Michael Saylor is foolish? I don't know, you know, why Michael Saylor does what he does. I mean, obviously, he levered up his balance sheet to buy a bunch of Bitcoin. He'd been selling his own shares in MicroStrategy stock, which obviously they did go way up because of this position that he's taken. I mean, ultimately, I think MicroStrategy goes bankrupt. I mean,
see, this sounds like someone who is ultimately inside hurt, maybe a little butt hurt that they weren't on the Bitcoin train as well. I know, Peter Schiff, you got a position to hold. You know, you're the gold guy, but sometimes you have to know when to fold and go and follow the trend. Because we know that Bitcoin is on this trend. We're not gonna fall for it this time. We're not gonna keep keeping ourselves in this system. We know the way out now. So when he says that the Bitcoin doesn't have value and that he doesn't understand why Michael Saylor is doing what he's doing, I think he's either naive or he's just flat out lying and just has a position to take with gold. So I think, you know, obviously Peter Schiff, he's a smart guy. He's really smart, but sometimes you don't have to follow this old guard. You don't have to listen to the boomers, basically, when it comes to this, because now if you start to break yourself out of the matrix, you realize that that system that was set up to manipulate you and to siphon money from your pockets and not give you any autonomy and ownership of your actual assets and resources because they want to have a middleman. So he does go into what these products are, you know, with the ETF and says, look, you know, these institutional buyers, they're not here for the tech or anything that, you know, they just want to make money. And yes, that is true. But at the same time, if they're wanting to make money, they're not going to be buying these ETFs right now and then short selling them in just months. No, they're going to wait for these mega gains. This is why BlackRock has set themselves up to position themselves to get their people that they custodian their money for, and they're going to make sure that they get their money back. So it's going to be a long play. BlackRock is in the long play. Coinbase is in the long play. MicroStrategy is in the long play. This is short-term naivety, and it's not good. And it's like, this is what's going to get people wrecked. Peter Schiff is going to sideline a bunch of people to think, okay, maybe I shouldn't get into Bitcoin because it doesn't have value. Once that gets into someone's brain and they're not smart enough to listen past that, that's how you get sidelined in the market hard. That's how you get completely sidelined. So let's actually go to one of these comments. So you go to the comments and you can see one of the first comments that got literally almost 1,000 likes. It says, Peter is the reason why I didn't get into Bitcoin 15 years ago. Worst effing mistake I ever made. And I guarantee you there's probably a lot of, a lot of things on here, but it is what it is, guys. But yeah, if you want to go and check out, shout out to valuetainment. I love that they bring on, they do pretty much every single type of conversation on here, where it comes to politics, money, lifestyle, all that stuff. So shout out to Patrick Beck David and the crew there. Shout out to Peter Schiff. And shout out to all the new subscribers, all the people that have been watching the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in and getting some perspective on Bitcoin and getting some other people's perspective, like Peter Schiff, on Bitcoin and what he thinks. And let me know in the comments, do you agree with Peter Schiff or do you agree with the crypto community that Bitcoin is not a scam, guys? And ultimately, the other financial system that we're trying to exit out of is ultimately the Ponzi scam. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you at 11:30 on the live streams, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time every single day, and I will see you on the other side. Peace.